So ActionSA today concludes its three-day inaugural policy conference. The party is set to vote, adopt and publicly share its founding policies through a closing address by its leader, Herman Mashaba. Let's get you an update from our reporter, Juniour Khumalo, who is covering that event for us, and he joins us live from Birchwood Hotel in Boksburg this morning. Juniour, great to see you. Shall we begin with what ActionSA has resolved over the past 2 days of this conference?
Good morning, Michelle. Indeed, ActionSA had gathered here over a 3-day period to basically flesh out what policies the party will stand on as it goes into next year's national elections. Besides the policies, what was interesting about this gathering here, it enabled the party to position itself as not only a party that is founded on one person, Mr. Herman Mashaba. We all know Mr. Mashaba for funding the party, for starting the party itself. But when it came to this policy conference, some of the policies that he himself, Mr. Mashaba, had proposed were not adopted by the party. We know Mr. Mashaba has been vehement about wanting the death penalty to be returned into South African law. This was not adopted by this conference. Mr. Mashaba as well made a U-turn in his stance on foreign nationals. He's been very vocal about how foreign nationals have come to this country illegally and have done so many wrongs in this country. But at this conference, during the opening of this conference on Tuesday, Mr. Mashaba himself seemed to make a U-turn and speak about how the blame should not be placed on foreign nationals, but it should be placed at the feet of government who have failed to adopt policies and who have failed to secure the South African borders. So those are some of the things that have been rejected by the party to show that the party itself has a leadership. There are about 600 delegates that convened here to adopt these policies. So what was adopted though by the party was the rejection of the triple BEE, which is a policy by the ANC to try and incorporate black South Africans into the economy. What the party has suggested in its place is an opportunity fund. That's what they are calling it. They're saying that this fund is going to be supplied by the private sector, and it's going to assist in creating business opportunities in black, colored and Asian communities in South Africa. So those are some of the things that will be adopted today. The program is expected to get underway at 8:30 this morning, with the chairperson of the ActionSA, Mr. Michael Beaumont, giving an opening address, Michelle.
So, Juniour, obviously all of these discussions are taking place as a build-up to elections 2024. Specifically, and I think you've already alluded to some points, but more specifically, what was said about that, about how ActionSA is preparing for what is meant to be such an important election next year?
They spoke a lot about the elections that are coming up next year, and what was emphasized by the national chairperson of ActionSA, Michael Beaumont, and Mr. Herman Mashaba himself was that they don't want to speak a lot about the failings of the ANC government. They say that what the people of South Africa want are solutions, tangible solutions to problems that are affecting South Africans. Hence, they spoke about things like land redistribution. They say that the pace at which land redistribution was happening under the ANC government was not what South Africans expect, and should they be in government next year, they would accelerate the pace at which land redistribution was happening. They also spoke a lot about corruption, saying that corruption was an ANC ill right now, and the South Africans need a government next year that is going to deal away with corruption. And they also spoke about coalitions. We know that ActionSA and 6 other parties have signed a pre-election agreement. They spoke about how they would enter those coalitions and function with other parties as they lead South Africa. That's what they believe when it comes to next year's elections. So it was a whole host of policies that were discussed, and we expect those policies to be adopted today, Michelle.
All right, Juniour Khumalo, thanks very much indeed for that update. Live to us there from Boksburg as ActionSA concludes that 3-day policy conference.